So I've wanted to do a video that covers the final age. I've briefly touched on the announcement, but we didn't have all the details back then because nobody had actually completed the final age at the time. The final age is also known as the 7th age. It is the age that comes after the 6th one, and it will be the last age in Stronghold Kingdoms, and it is the first age that it has ever been in the player's hands to decide whether or not a game world will stay open or close at the end of that age. If that age concludes without anybody pressing the button, it will just continue to extend onwards until somebody eventually, some house marshal gets into power who can press the aforementioned button. So anyway, welcome to the final age. The final age features 5 extra levels for capital buildings. In my opinion, rather unnecessary. I'm not sure why Firefly considers continuing to level these capital buildings such a priority when you have to take into consideration the fact that the resource amount required to up these levels increases significantly as well. So I guess there are a lot of resources floating around in later ages, but the actual process of moving them into the villages that are required for those buildings to be donated to, I do not understand it. If somebody can explain it to me, I'd be happy to hear the reasoning behind it. Is it actually like a player request? Are players interested in this addition? Are they interested in the ability to be able to donate to increase levels of capital buildings? Is the current cap not enough? But the final age rules have been finalized, and I don't think they're going to change anything about them. I'm just giving you my thoughts on the current rules as they're set out. There's also the Royal Tower system as well as a veteran-only world. So I'm going to explain the Royal Tower system. Over here we have the Royal Towers wiki page. Royal Towers are the key to obtaining final victory and the ability for one player to end the game world. Once a single house controls all royal towers in a game, the house marshal may choose to achieve final victory by pressing the quote-unquote button. Well, I should say by pressing, quote-unquote, the button, which will no longer be grayed out. Doing so will allow all house members to claim wondrous prizes and end the game world forever. Now, I should make a brief note here about this, and this is something that we know after the completion of the 7th age or the final age in World 4, is that even after you press the button, you will still be able to log into that world, and you'll be able to see the map and the game state that the world was at the end of that age. So when somebody pressed that button, that game state is saved, and you'll still be able to log in and view it, but you will not actually be able to interact with the map in any way, and you won't be able to, maintain your villages or anything. You'll also get a stats screen, and I'll show you that in a minute. So it should be noted that the world will not actually be deleted, which I think is a nice feature, and I wish they had actually mentioned that a little bit earlier. There was really no reason to delete it as far as I'm aware, and it's nice to be able to keep it around as a small memento. Fond memories. People have invested many hours of their lives in these worlds. And then also, to the point of allow all house members to claim wondrous prizes. When it came to the closure of World 4, there was also a code that was redeemable by people who were not in houses at the time, and I believe we're not even in World 4, so you might have that to look forward to as well. I'm not sure how up-to-date these rules or this description, this wiki page is at the moment. The gameplay changes in regards to Royal Towers. These are the most important things to note about them. A captain is needed to attack a Royal Tower, and only capture type attacks may be launched against them. So from what I understand of this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're not actually going to be able to launch breaker attacks. You're going to have to use captains every single time, and they have to be a capture type attacks. I'm not sure what capture type means. I don't think it means raised. I think it means you actually have to use the capture attack, which means that you're going to have a whole bunch of captains on that village with the capture attack type. And this is something that I am woefully ignorant of, and I wish the instructions would clarify it a bit. But obviously there are players who have experienced this, and it would be great to hear from them. I wish I had the time to hunt them down, as it were. I can't actually find them on World 4 anymore, obviously. Number 2, attacking a royal tower will remove any interdiction from the source village. This is pretty standard if you think about it, because when you attack in regular gameplay PvP, you're not going to be able to attack a player without removing the interdiction from that village first. But this was in the past. This was exempt from the AIs. You could attack AI castles and wolf lairs and whatnot without removing your ID. So I imagine the reason that this gameplay change is actually of note is because the Royal Tower sort of performs like an AI castle, and you're actually going to it's going to use the rules that apply more to players than to the AI in this case. Royal Towers cannot be repaired, rebuilt, or reinforced by players. Royal Towers cannot be interdicted. If a player captures a Royal Tower, their house gains control of that tower. After they are captured, Royal Towers are immediately rebuilt and repaired. So this means that despite the fact that you're going to be restricted in terms of how you can interact with them, the Royal Tower will be completely rebuilt and repaired without you having to do anything about it after you capture it, which makes sense because it makes it easier for players to hold on to those towers. The final age begins with 150 royal towers spawning across the map in random locations. After each glory round, all towers disappear and new towers appear in random locations. The total number of towers is reduced by 10 at the end of each round, and the control of all towers is reset. The minimum number of royal towers in a world is 20. Now, if I recall correctly, only house marshals will receive the reports from successfully captured towers. But I was going to say, if I recall correctly, you can end the world at any time. You do not have to wait for the age to count down. So even though there are multiple houses in the race at the time, if one house controls all 150 royal towers at the beginning, at the very start of this age, they will have the option to end that world. They don't actually have to wait for it to count down, as it were. So we've covered the royal towers. Another gameplay change is the button. And I do not have an image of the button, but apparently it is accessible by the house marshal and it controls all the towers. Pressing the button ends the game world, determining which players claim each reward tier, and I will be getting to that in a second. The glory race has no end and the houses are no longer eliminated. Okay, so I should actually update what I said there. At the end of each glory race, instead of actually having houses removed from the glory race, instead the total number of towers is reduced by 10, which naturally makes it easier for one house to gain control of them all. In the case of World 4, I do not believe any house completed one glory round before the world was ended, so they captured 150 towers and were able to hold them as one house, which is sort of a testament to the sort of competition that's available in such worlds. A new Royal Towers tab has been added to the glory screen. I wish I could show this to you. Capital guilds can now be upgraded at an additional 5 levels. No new players may join this game world. Only those who previously had a village on this world may enter it. And this seems to be a point of contention for some. If you have ever joined that world that is currently in the final age, anytime in a previous age, you will be able to join the game for that world for the final age. You will not be restricted from joining it simply because you do not hold a village. And if all your villages are deleted or are razed, captured, while in the final age, you'll still be able to rejoin the world because you previously had a village on that world. So it's not like a death mode, or what would you... It's not like an instant death. What is that called? Permadeath? Yeah, it would be like a permadeath mode, and that's not the case, so no worries there. Royal loot prizes. At the end of the final age, prizes ranging from gold to bronze will be distributed to members of houses meeting the following conditions. So these are the prizes that are actually distributed after the house marshal presses the quote unquote the button. I can't get that straight. I think you should just call it the button. Whatever. Anyway, there is gold tier, silver tier, and bronze tier. For gold tier, members of the house with the most stars at the time the world ends will receive the gold prize back. So you know what? It might actually be the case that the winning house in World 4 actually did at least take 1 star so that they were assured the gold prize pack. Then we have silver. Members of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place houses will receive the silver prize pack. For bronze, any players not receiving the gold or silver prize who are ranked prince and above and who had at least 1 village on the world will receive the bronze prize. And this is actually interesting because according to this definition, okay, I was not ranked prince. Okay, that would make sense, yeah. Because I was going to say, I did not receive any notification that I actually had received a prize pack for being in World 4, but then I remembered I'm not actually ranked prince. So let's just take a look at what World 4 looks like at the end, and then we'll cover the prizes. So here we have the stats screen. Obviously, I've not done very much in this world, so not a whole lot for me to see there, but if you've done a lot, you can see more. I am currently ranked gentleman, which explains why I did not get any compensation bronze prizes. And look at the crazy resources just being like fireworks. Anyway, so that's pretty much what the world is going to look like. I mean, you can log in and take a look at the world, but it's sort of in a mode, it's in like a stasis mode where you can't interact with it at all. And you can still see, where's my village? You can actually see some of the towers still existing here. But there is a royal tower. There are 150 towers apparently. Okay, here we go. I had not seen this screen previously, and you can actually take a look at this. So the House Marshal Grudge 319, yeah. The House Marshal Grudge 319, you can actually see when he ended the world. On day 1648, the 4th of September 2016 at 5 a.m. On the nose, apparently, of House 17. And then, so yeah, they did capture all of the towers on the first round. The world ended on the first glory race. Here we can take a look at it. Okay, that's pretty cool. I had not seen that before. I had not taken a look at that. End of the world. Sounds pretty ominous. So you can enjoy the special effects here, I suppose. But aside from that, you're not going to be able to interact with anything. You can see nothing. I can't build anything in my villages here or in my castle. Oh, wait, I can? I can build stuff in my castle? Oh, no, I can't confirm it. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering about that. That would be rather strange if you could actually interact with stuff like that. Let's see if I can research anything. Nope. Okay. I just want to see if I can break stuff here. You know how it works. You got to test it all out. So it's a little bit lonely. It's a little bit sad, I suppose, but I think most people are pretty positive about the results overall. And then we're going to take a look at the prize content. So for gold, the players who won the world, this is the motivation that they're going to be receiving to attempt to move into other worlds and do likewise. Number 1, unique shield charge. Now, I have not seen this unique shield charge yet on anybody. I should actually take a look at Grudge 319 to see if he's using it. That's like a small cosmetic bonus. 4,000 card points. That's actually quite significant. 10 research packs. 20 ultimate random packs. Ultimate random packs are actually pretty legit. So if we take a look at the ultimate card here, we're going to ultimate random. They are the best card packs currently available in Stronghold Kingdoms. So this is some serious incentive. There are a lot of sapphires and triple diamond cards in there. So like I said, that's going to give some serious incentive for players who want to end the world and essentially net these card points. I mean, I think this is going to cause, certain houses that are power players to move to different worlds and actually build up in anticipation of this final age, because these rewards are some of the best I've actually seen being given out by Firefly for any age completion. So other house marshals might be fighting for the age in the global conflict kind of maps. They're not going to be receiving any sort of compensation like they are going to if they go ahead and join these older worlds and they start picking up these prizes for winning. And even silver is pretty legit as well. But in addition to the ultimate card packs, 20 ultimate random packs, you also got 30 super random card packs, 40 random card packs, and 3 30-day premium tokens. So that's 3 months worth of premium just going 24/7. And if you are not in the winning house, you might be in one of the other 3 top houses, in which case you'll get 3,000 card points. It's only 1,000 card points less than gold. 5 research packs. It's half of what you get in the first place. 10 ultimate random packs. Still pretty legit. Like I said, it's half of what you get in the gold. But I mean, there is not going to be a whole lot required to be in the top 3, because a lot of these worlds are pretty inactive as it is. And if one house jumps into it, maybe I'm underestimating this. Maybe multiple houses will actually jump in once they have seen the kind of rewards that are being offered here. It could go either way, in my opinion. But 30 random packs and then 3 30-day premium tokens as well. So the 30-day premium tokens are pretty much the same. And then we go down here to bronze, 2,000 card points. Now this is pretty much just guaranteed to anybody who has actually been in the world, but they have to be ranked prince or higher. So pretty much anybody who has played any of these worlds for any amount of time will be getting these prizes. So 2,000 card points, 5 research packs, 5 ultimate random, 10 super random, 20 random, and 3 30-day premium tokens once again. So this will give anybody who has actually played these worlds a pretty decent jump start in new worlds that they join. You know, there's a lot here to actually like. And we look at how many crowns do I have? That's card points. You get crowns, you get card points. I didn't even notice. You get card points. Okay, you get 2,000 card points. I have 8,000 card points, so that's not too significant for me. But then there was the final ultimate champion prize. In addition to a loot prize, members of the house which ends the world will receive the final victory champion prize and the final victory. So I don't understand this. Prize contents. At the end of the final ages, these will be distributed. Members of the house with the most stars. Oh, okay. In addition to the royal loot prize, members of the house which end the world will receive their own prize. So essentially what you could have is like an up-and-coming house, an upstart house who jumps into the game, grabs all the towers, and then ends the game, and they would get these, even though the current houses in the game would have more stars. For example, you could take your team to the whatever world is currently in the final age, have them put them all in the house, and then surprise attack the current ruling house. Take all their towers from them, and even though you don't have any stars, and you might not even be in the silver rank, you'll still get the final victory ultimate champion prize. But the current house with the most stars will get the gold prize instead. I find it unlikely that it would ever be anybody but the house with the gold who would end the game, but it's always possible. So it's interesting that they decided to go for that, and that might actually encourage more competition from other houses or other factions, like other teams. What do they call them? Other groups of players that actually come into those worlds, because they'll be awarded 1 unique shield charge, 100 expert chivalry cards, and 20 research packs. Wow, that's actually pretty significant. 100 expert chivalry cards. So just for reference, for those who are not aware of what a chivalry card is. All right, here it is. So the expert chivalry card, I actually don't have one, but you can't buy it either apparently. But you can get it. You're going to need to get how many of these? You're going to get 100 of these cards if you are in the house who presses the button at the end of the age. So for the final, 100 expert chivalry cards. Wow. Now, I'm not sure how many the top player in Global Conflict 1 used, how many expert chivalry cards he hit Prince in one day. It was somewhere in that area, though, I think. It was like 200 expert chivalry cards, so obviously this is pretty significant. If you are a crown prince, expert chivalry, each one of them will give you 7,500,000 honor. That would be an equivalent of 750 million honor if you were a crown prince when you played them. Obviously, you were not going to be that, but that would be the most you could possibly get from 100 expert chivalry cards. So I was not aware of this, and I think it actually, for those who also were not aware of what the prizes were, this will provide some pretty good incentive to actually joining those worlds. And if you actually take a look at the interview that Firefly had, then they posted on Facebook with the current or the leader of House 17 in World 4 when that world came to an end, he alluded to the fact that they might be attempting to do a similar thing on other worlds. So I think this is actually going to be like a new meta for Stronghold Kingdoms in terms of how to get a lot of cards and a lot of card points for next to no cost at all. I mean, before this, farming the AI world, was it Rise of the Wolf? Revenge of the Wolf? Before this, that was the world that you'd go to if you wanted to make a lot of card points and premium tokens and whatnot. But now it actually might be more beneficial to go ahead and join these older worlds. Because even if you are, like I said, even if you are just a Prince rank player, you're guaranteed the bronze prizes right here. And they're pretty legit, like I've said before. So I can see Firefly is attempting to encourage some competition in a lot of these older worlds with prizes like this. Unfortunately, I think it might have been the fact that not a lot of players in other worlds were aware of what the prizes were, and that sort of led them to ignore World 4. I don't think necessarily that we're going to see a lot of replicas of World 4, but I could be wrong. But there was definitely some incentive here to encourage competition, some serious incentive here to encourage competition. And like a lot of the prizes that Firefly has handed out in the past, they've been kind of on the side, but this is definitely something that would encourage players to join those worlds, I think. Anybody who is serious about making some pretty much free card points and goodies is going to be able to go to these worlds and just rank up the price. I mean, I might even do it. It's not going to be that difficult to do, you know? You can get some serious rewards here. I'm actually quite impressed. I'm sort of floored that Firefly went ahead and offered prizes this good. I should have looked at this earlier. But anyway, that is the final age. I think the prizes more than make up for what is essentially going to be the removal of all your effort that you've put into that world. These are some prizes that can definitely jumpstart you into a new world with a good head start. So I'm not unhappy about it, but I know some players still might be. I'd be interested in hearing your opinion. I'll probably be putting a poll in this video, and you tell me what you think of the prizes. Do they compensate for removing that world from or removing your ability to play that world, or are you still unhappy with not being able to play that world, and you don't think that these prizes, you'd rather have the world back than prizes like this? I'd be interested in hearing about it. So thank you very much for watching as always, and I hope to see you next time.